Hey guys, what's up? This is part 2 of What If Deku Had a Stand. Mina see Deku. White Snake Deku. So let's get started. At Izuku's house. After school. I wonder if I can give myself 2 quirks. But would I have to get rid of White Snake? I don't think I want to test that. I have exactly 1 year to train up for the UA exams. Okay, let's get to training. So the first thing I am going to do is call Kira to help me train. After the phone call, I got up and put on a black sleeveless shirt with a hoodie that had the words, "Give me" in white on it. On his arms he had 2 tattoos. On the left it had the words White Snake, and on the right arm it had a disc that had quirk written in red inside of the disc. Going down he had black baggy pants that had a white snake going up each leg. On his right hand had a snake's mouth ready to bite, and nothing on the left. Up to his face it had a scar on his left eye going down to his cheek, and on the bottom of his right eye had a black tear. His hair was black and some of the strands of hair were white. So overall he looks like a badass. To Kira he got up and was getting ready. He had a hoodie on that was red, and had guns and knives on it. He was wearing plain black baggy pants. I forgot shoes. Kira had red shoes with black guns on them. Izuku had black battle boots. Kira had red fingerless gloves, and had black hair with red tips. As they met up at a park, and was running to an empty clearing. As they got ready to train, Izuku let out his stand called White Snake and took control of it. As Kira summons a gun that had fake bullets that would hurt like hell. As they got to training, Deku got shot with a bullet and lost control of White Snake. He rushed at Kira and White Snake threw a hard left hook that Kira dodged. Kira then did a spin, summoning a knife and slashed White Snake's hand, making Izuku bleed too. They both backed up and rushed at each other. Deku tried to take Kira's stand, but Kira shot White Snake in the gut, making Izuku feel that pain. As Izuku tried to back up, Kira rushed at White Snake and dropped the knife. Then summoned knuckle dusters and punched White Snake in the shoulder, making Izuku mad. And White Snake hit Kira in the gut, making him cough up blood. White Snake then tried to slap Kira, but Kira stepped back. As they were both painting. So I think we can call it a draw. Yeah, that sounds fair. As they both fell to the ground, making White Snake return to Izuku. They were now sitting in an ice cream shop after going to Izuku's house and taking showers. Because it was the closest. Note: Kira is more like a close brother than a best friend. So Izuku and his mom treat him like family. As Izuku orders vanilla ice cream and Kira gets cookies and cream. They sat down and started talking. Kira POV: we sat down and I asked, "So Izuku, are you going to the UA exams with me?" He looked at me and said, "Duh, of course. I can't let you get ahead of me, can I?" As they both laughed. As they were about to leave, a villain came up and tried to take a little girl with her mom hostage. As All Might was about to punch him, but stopped when he seen that the villain had 2 hostages. Izuku and Kira looked at each other and nodded to each other. As Kira quickly summons a gun and shot the villain in the arm, making him drop the gun. And Izuku used White Snake to barrage him. As White Snake screamed, "Ha!" as he rapidly punched the villain until he fell over unconscious. All Might smiled at them and said, "You two did good work. But you did both assault a man and used your quirks in public. So I am going to need you two to come with me to the police station." On the walk there, Kira spoke up and said, "All Might, are we going to jail?" All Might laughed and said, "Of course not, my boy. You two saved 2 people's lives." As they got to the police station and they got yelled at for putting themselves and others in danger, they left. On the way out, All Might asked, "So what are your guys' quirks?" Izuku spoke up first. "All Might, sir, my quirk is called White Snake. Its main abilities are stealing quirks or memories and putting people in illusions." All Might thought, "Wow, that is just like ... quirk." And he looked at Izuku agent and said, "Yes, that is very strong. May I get your name?" "Yes, my name is Izuku Midoriya." All Might smiled and said, "Yes, young Izuku, that is a mighty fine quirk you got there." As he looked at Kira and asked for his name. Kira said, "My name is Kira Takisachi. My quirk is called Summon. I can summon anything I touch." All Might said, "Yes, another very powerful quirk." As All Might had a thought, "Do you two want to become heroes?" Kira and Izuku both said yes. as they had determined looks on their faces. All Might smiled grew bigger. I am guessing you both want to go to UA with this type of quirks. As they both said yes in unison. As All Might smiled and said meet me at this beach at 6 a.m. sharp. As All Might jumped off, they looked at each other. It was getting late, so they just decided to sleep at Kira's home because it was closer. When they got there, Izuku texted his mom and said, "Mom, I am going to stay the night at Kira's, I love you." He got a text back saying okay, I love you to Izuku. And Izuku went to sleep on the couch in Kira's room. And Kira slipped in his bed. The next morning at 5 a.m. they both woke up and looked at the time, and then one at a time took a 10-minute shower. After they were done, they put on the same clothes as yesterday, that were washed overnight. Overall that took around 40 minutes. Kira said, "Izuku, hurry up, we gotta get to that beach." As they both ran out the door as fast as they could. 18 minutes after they got there sweating and both sat down. All Might was there watching them. He cleared his throat to get their attention. So young Izuku and young Kira today. But before he could finish, All Might went down from 9 foot to 5'6". Izuku and Kira screamed, "What the hell?" All Might told them to calm down. After he did, he started to explain about the fight he had with AFO, or All for One. After he got done explaining, Izuku and Kira stood there not knowing what to say. So All Might just said, "All right, let's get to training." They both nodded. All Might said, "Now for the second thing, young Kira, I want to give you my quirk. One for all." Kira screamed, "Hell yeah," as he quickly asked how to get it. All Might said, "You must eat my hair." As Kira had a scared look on his face. And Izuku was just laughing his ass off. And said through laughs, "So haha Kira, you haha gonna eat haha his hair." As Kira got a tick mark on his face, he summons a fake gun with rubber bullets and shot Izuku in the leg. Izuku screamed, "Aw," and looked at Kira and screamed, "Why the fuck did you do that?" Kira just had an innocent look on his face and was whistling. All Might clears his throat again. And they looked at him. All Might pulled a small piece of hair out. And said, "Here, I used extra clean shampoo." Kira quickly ate it and then held his throw up back. "Now let's get training for real. Kira, you go move that pile, and Izuku, you go move that pile with your stand. And then go move that pile yourself. Kira, after you're done we will practice your aim with a gun." Kira nodded, and Izuku and Kira both ran off. And started to push the pile. With Izuku I summoned White Snake and had it lift the piles of trash while I just watch. To Kira. I looked over and seen Izuku just sitting there while White Snake was moving trash. I thought that was very unfair, so I just looked away and got ready. I began to push a freezer. But it wouldn't move, and that's when I knew this was gonna be hard. 3 hours later we can see Kira done push his pile and Izuku got half of his done. All Might walked up to Kita and said, "Young Kira, let's go see how good your aim is." As they walked to a gun range nearby, Kira summons a Glock and begins to shoot the target in the exact spots marked. All Might looked surprised and said, "Look like you don't need help with your aim. What all can you summon?" Kira looked at All Might and said, "An AR, 3 different pistols, a pair of brass knuckles, and 10 grenades." All Might looked at him and said, "10 grenades. Young Kira, promise you will never blow someone up unless it is needed." Kira quickly swore. All Might looked relieved and said, "Let's go check on young Izuku." As they walked back, when they got back they saw Izuku sewn with his pile. And having White Snake carry him to them, but not before getting White Snake to bring him water. And looked at them exhausted and said, "So what are you guys doing?" "We just got back from the gun range testing Kira gun skills." Izuku said, "That was stupid, you should have told him, Kita. You never miss a shot." "I know, Izuku, but I wanted to show off a little bit." Izuku rolled his eyes and said whatever. As Kira and Izuku were walking to Kira's house, they were talking. When they got to Kira's house, they saw cops surrounding the house. Kira and Izuku ran up and asked what happened. The cop looked at them and asked, "Do you two live here?" Kira said, "I do." The cop looked down and said, "I am sorry your dad went on a rampage and killed your mom, and then killed himself." Kira dropped to his knees and started to cry. Izuku helped him up and said it will be okay, and Izuku brought Kira to his house. He let Kira lay in his bed while he explained what happened to him. Mom. Ainko had a look of pity and said, "He can stay here as long as he want. I want you to tell him that."
switch and save $652. It's okay. There's enough for everyone.
You think about calling for a ride. Nah, what's the worst that could happen?